3 days ago, 18 former castaways returned to Survivor for a second shot at glory and the opportunity to redeem their past mistakes. After a weekend full of intense challenges, unpredictable twists, and unforgettable eliminations, only 5 castaways remain. Katie. After being eliminated by 1 vote in her first season, Katie returned to Survivor to try to complete the game cut short her first time. After being in the power position on their first 2 tribes, Katie found herself on the outs at the merge. She was able to survive by never seeming like the biggest threat, even though she continually tried to get someone to flip on the majority alliance. Now Katie finds herself in the final 5 with half an idol in her pocket. Can she make it past the next 2 votes in order to pitch her case in front of the jury? Sean. After playing a chaotic game his first time, Sean came back to Survivor with a huge target on his back. But this season, he was able to earn people's trust by proving to be a loyal ally. After winning his 3rd immunity challenge, Sean shook up the game by exposing Elena's plan to betray Luke, resulting in her being voted out. After hearing his name all game long, can Sean survive 2 more rounds and claim the title of sole survivor? Lexi. Being the victim of a pre-merge idol in Survivor New England, Lexi returned to Survivor to prove her abilities in the game. Early on, Lexi appeared to be on the outs at Webster, but was able to avoid elimination when her tribe won immunities and benefited from an early twist. After the merge, she flipped to vote with the majority, being a loyal number to that side. With so few votes left to go, can Lexi make it to the end of the game? Luke. In his first game, Luke's loyalty to his alliance eventually cost him the game. But this time, Luke found himself in the power position from the start. Finding 2 hidden immunity idols and teaming up with Elena allowed Luke to make it deep in the game with ease. Last week, Luke played the first of his idols to get out Elena, after she started to target him, because she viewed him as the biggest threat to win. With 1 idol left to be played, can Luke make it all the way to the end and claim the title of sole survivor? And Tracy. After being voted out in a crazy tribal council her first time, Tracy returned to the game with redemption on her mind. After receiving a vote in her first tribal council, she was able to secure herself in a tight alliance with Elena and later Luke, allowing her to go the rest of the game without receiving a single vote. Tracy stayed true to her alliance with Elena all the way to the end, but now without her closest ally, can she make it 2 more rounds and try to complete the ultimate redemption story? Find out now as these castaways attend 3 tribal councils and compete in 2 unforgettable challenges, all for a shot at walking away with $500 and the title of sole survivor.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to get. At this point, it's like you guys are obviously going for Sean.
Yeah. There's 5 of us that remain, and it's a pretty clear-cut path. Luke has an immunity idol, so he's going to use that. He's safe for this tribal. And I'm the next one that's going to get voted out. So I need to win this next immunity challenge. If I don't, I'm gone.
I mean, it's been awesome because this whole time I've been playing to get to final 6. Because, you know,
Right. Is that where you got out?
No, I got out of Final 5, but Final 6 guarantees me to Final 4 because I can't play it at Final 4. So.
That last vote absolutely sucked. I did not want to vote Elena out. I was very truthful with her the whole time that I wanted to not ever vote her. And I really was going to tribal, and I was really expecting not to vote for her. But I needed to do something big. This is the last time we're doing this. I needed to do something huge. I needed to vote her out. I needed to actually write her name down.
Were you like trying to actually pull Elena to the end?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, because my mentality was
like loyalty?
That, and we were playing the exact same game. I could out-talk her, and I had 2 hidden immunity items.
I think me actually voting her out is the correct move. I think that is what could help me win the game. I didn't get to do it when I was with Mike Casey, and that was the end of my game. So it was just something that needed to be done.
I wasn't going to ever vote her. I think I was pretty faithful on that, but I just did. I need to score jury points. I need to have a big game. I think they're all looking for a big game.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the nice part is I think at this point they're not bitter. What sucks now is that I think if I played my 2 hidden immunity idols, no matter what, I would have been a target at 4, right? So now it's like I have to win.
The thing is,
4.
I'm so interested to see 4. Like, oh, that's going to be such a battle.
Everything has been blown to shit, and I feel like puking and crying at the same time. The walk back from tribal blew because I was like, I don't think I have any alliances anymore because my main alliance was Elena and Luke. Elena's gone. Meg was also a peripheral alliance. Meg is gone. Sean was also a peripheral alliance, but no one fucking trust Sean anymore. And then I just like stabbed Luke in the back, or attempted to. And so I was back. I took the most solemn walk back because I was like, I'm next.
I'm just going to hug you some more.
I love you too, bro.
As I was talking to you about like, yeah, we're gonna vote Elena. She's a big star. I mean, I actually
Meant it. Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the right move.
I kind of figured that she'd get picked off along the way because people know that she's a big, especially Sean. Luke came over to me and like gave me this big hug and said like, I get what you. He gave me a big hug and he said, I get why you did what you did. I still think we should work together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely obviously nervous now because I feel like at Final 4, I'm the person to vote out, or Sean is. It's like me or Sean. I personally still do, like, I've been straight up with you since the beginning. I've wanted to work with you since the beginning.
I'm telling you,
so
I really almost cried in my confessional.
It's okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I want to go to the end with you, and I get if you end up voting me out at
I
Final 4.
can't vote you out.
Well, Final 4.
Oh.
At Final 4.
Yes.
And if that happens, I get it, but I definitely...
I don't know. I'd rather go to Final 3 with you still because I do believe that me and you are much more equal than
I think we're much
some
more
other people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sean is just obviously the person to go. And then I think you, me, and Lexi now is the move. I think you, me, and Lexi have the best shot.
So I am like 70-30. I 70% believe him. I 30% think he might be pulling a bluff. Because then he was like, if I win the next challenge, I'll give you my immunity.
I want my Final 3 to be you and Tracy now. Tracy's been I mean, she was also in on the whole fucking thing, but like, she's just like, you know, a good person, so I'm like,
She is a good person.
Yeah. Thanks, Raj.
That's perfect.
Yeah, Elena got me. My birthday gift.
That's
Quadruple
massive.
XL, yeah.
So I did think about playing my idol, but I was like, honestly, I'd rather risk it and wait till 5, where like that's the last time I can play it. I'm guaranteed to make the Final 4.
Where do you find the idols, out of curiosity? Like,
So the one up in the first camp on the side yard was like in the brush, kind of.
like kind of noticeable when you walk by. If you were looking at the brush, like just going like this,
You'd have to be in a specific position, not like that. You'd have to be like in kind of a specific position to see it, but you could see it without moving anything.
Yeah. Okay.
And then here it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was peeing right here.
I was pissing too far back.
There's a square piece of wood, like right in like
Fuck! I moved that.
like right here.
It's gone because I fucking.
Yeah, it was
checked
under it.
underneath
It was under it.
I'm thinking moving forward, like I would love to bring Lexi to the final. I think if I win immunity here, I'll probably play my idol on Lexi. Just to, you know, bring her forward, at least get, you know, a jury vote if she doesn't make it to the end. I feel like at this point everyone is like Do whatever you can to save yourself.
Yeah. I mean, we're all also like just really hope Sean loses the next challenge. I'm rooting for all of you. In
Right.
This
I'm
next
like,
challenge.
I'm rooting for you because you seem. I mean, you got that drive shirt on, man.
I want to win a challenge, dude. The three of us, right? We haven't won one?
None of us.
Yeah, fucking
About the same time.
I'm hoping that either Tracy, Lexi, or Luke wins the individual. I'm not gonna throw it, but like I would rather play my idol on myself and try to get like as many votes on me as possible so that it looks cool.
It's all up front now. I think last vote was the big.
That was pretty sick. Sick nasty. I think it's so funny when you say that.
Sean, take it back. Thank you. Once again, immunity is back up for grabs. For your final 5 challenge, will probably be the hardest challenge so far, just based off the heat. But you'll go, starting from the tables, go to one of 4 stations throughout the field. At each station, there is a task you need to complete. Once you have all 4 bags, open them up, take the pieces out, solve the puzzle. First person to solve the puzzle wins. All right, survivors ready? Shot for the final 4. Go. Sean coming back. Katie coming back with her first bag. Sean coming back for the second. Fucking get off the fucking thing. Katie coming back for 2. In the hole too, right? In the middle? 3. Nice. Katie coming back with 3, right on Sean's tail.
Split them up, guys.
Luke back with 3. Let's go, baby. Puzzle. Come on! Come on! Luke getting frustrated.
Had a little trouble getting those pieces out.
Lexi back with all 4. Wow, making quick work of the logo. Crazy back with 3. Katie making some serious progress. Katie down to 5 pieces left. Sean minute.
Check.
Katie wins immunity.
Yeah.
Job, Katie. Good job. Sean.
Good job. Good job, Katie. I was close. Getting there.
All right, 3 more to go. You're guaranteed a spot in the final 4. The rest of you have a shot of going home this close to the end. Hate to see it, but grab your things, back to camp.
So the loss in that challenge is going to cost me my life in this game. It's unfortunate, and I knew I had to win to keep myself alive, but just couldn't quite pull it off.
In normal Survivor, bribery's not allowed, but $250. I am unemployed.
That's like assuming you're gonna get. I mean, that's like
That's
good return. Like
We would
Yeah.
vote you out.
Yeah.
You would lose the game.
Yeah. Oh, you get $250.
Shooting the shit, trying to save myself. There's really nothing I can do. I mean, it'd be foolish not to vote me off. Like, they have to. They will. But I was like, oh, if you keep me around, I'll split the prize money with you. Like, that's really the only thing I can say. And they're just like, no, like, obviously, right? So. What if you vote out Lexi? I'll tell you who you gotta find out the week. If I win the game, I'll give you both 1/3.
it's not a bad deal, but like also no. I'm feeling really good off that challenge, obviously. Haven't ever won an individual immunity, so that felt really good. I think bringing home, like, thinking about what I would say at a potential tribal council, I think that definitely just makes it show that you're a competitor.
If you guys keep me around, you're all just fucking dumb.
There we go. Yeah.
Alright, let's vote on Lexi.
And
I think Sean's gone today as long as he doesn't have an idol, or Sean's gone this vote if he doesn't have an idol. And then I think I'd beat any of those 3 girls if I go to the end.
Cute attempt.
Don't tell them. They're not gonna do it.
It doesn't even
No
matter.
one's gonna do it. See, this is an idol.
It is an idol.
I'm just gonna pull it out to get our eyes out of everyone.
People are gonna vote Sean out. If Sean has an idol, then I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. Took the lantern off of the like skull crow
and said it was a knife.
and he wrapped it in a dark night. I was like, can I see it? You're like, nice try. And I like looked over it and it was the lantern gun. I was like, good one. He was like, I'm just trying anything.
Yeah. I mean, he did that in my season too. He like pulled out the thing.
Within a buff.
Yeah, and I was like, that'd be so sick if he had 3. Like, it actually would have been so
That's why I
cool.
said that'll work last year, but not this.
I mean, I feel like I'm kind of checking all the boxes that I really hope to check. I mean, I found a hidden immunity idol, I won an individual immunity, and then hopefully can make it to final tribal.
You have to like hold your like piece of wood between your arm and the wall, and it's just the last person standing. That's the only way I think I have a chance. If it's anything like where I'm standing on something,
It's not gonna.
Jury: Mike, Shannon, Eric, Meg, Becca, and Elena voted out at the last tribal council. All right, welcome back, final 5. Katie, you mentioned at the challenge after you won that this is your first ever individual immunity win. How good did it feel happening at such a pivotal time?
Yeah, I mean, I would have been happy to win any of them, but this one felt really important. We kind of went in knowing if one of us doesn't win it, like Sean's gonna just take the game. So I think this one felt really good to, you know, be the one to hopefully send him home. But yeah.
Sean, with a comment like that and your comments before where you said if you don't win, you're out, do you think that's true?
I still feel the same way. It's the only choice.
How bad does that feel knowing that last year you were in the same exact position and here we are again?
Yeah, it was the same challenge. On the puzzle I lost. I was the 5th person voted out this year, and it's looking like I'll be the 5th person voted out this year as well.
Luke, you were the 5th person voted out in your season, or 5th place.
fifth
But,
from
yeah. How good does it feel knowing that you have that other idol and everyone is saying Sean?
feels awesome. I mean, I feel like I'm next to go, and so the fact that I was able to just do better than I did the first time, I think that's kind of the main thing I wanted to do when I came in. And I feel like I played the best I could play. I have one more thing that I have to do, and hopefully I can do that to try to plead my case to the jury. But I'm just happy with the way I played, and I think I did what I wanted to do when I came out here.
Great. So, Tracy and Lexi coming in, you're the 2 people, didn't make the jury. But this time, one of you, at the very least, is guaranteed to sit in front of the jury. So how good does that feel, making it this far?
We came, yeah, I think both of us came for Revival, and we've done exactly that, but we're not done yet. Feels good to get Sean out. Ditto.
All right, so writing seems on the wall, but I guess we have to make it official. So, that, Sean, you're up.
Just in case.
Feels really good to be the one preventing you from moving on, so let's hope this goes the way we want.
I'll go tally the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and like to use it, now would be the time to do so. Thank you.
Yep.
Rules of Survivor state that if anyone plays a hidden immunity idol, all votes for that person will not count. This is a hidden immunity idol. All votes for Luke will not count.
I was hoping to use this for myself, but since I don't need to, this is a half hidden immunity idol, and if I combine it with any bone from the graveyard, it becomes a full hidden immunity idol. So just in case Sean has one, I will play it for Lexi.
Great. Rules of Survivor state. If anyone plays a hidden immunity idol, all votes for that person will not count. Together, this forms one hidden immunity idol. All votes for Lexi will not count.
Is this one?
Anybody else? Nope. All right. Once the votes are read, the decision is final, and that person will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Luke does not count.
What?
Did you vote for Luke?
Yeah.
Sean. One vote, Sean. Sean. It's two Sean. 14th person voted out of Survivor Roysan Revival. Sean.
Play a good game, man. Good job, dude. Play a good game. You're a beast.
Good luck to all of you in the rest of the game.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
Sean. Tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
No way, really?
All right, down to 4. No more idols, no more advantages are valid in this game. Comes down to one more challenge, which is gonna take place right now. So,
Oh my god.
oh, what? Go down the hill and wait for further direction.
I had a really fun time playing Survivor this season. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the end, but I think I played the best game I could. I made all the right decisions. Just definitely came up a little short on that last challenge, which could have propelled me to the final 3, but no regrets. I had to vote out Elena, which I feel terrible about, but it was inevitable, and I think she would have done the same thing if the roles were flipped. Also, like this season, I played a lot different style of game compared to my last season. I held my cards a little bit closer to my chest. I wasn't all over the place being a wild card, making a mess of things. It was kind of a different game, different strategy, and I tried to follow the recipe of the people who won in previous seasons, or last year specifically, because that's all I've really seen. So yeah, unfortunately it didn't work out for me, but I had an amazing time, and I also got to spend time with some amazing people.
All right, first thing, Katie, take it back. Welcome to the final Roysan Reality Challenge, Survivor Challenge ever. For this challenge, it's how bad do you want it? You're going to be standing on a brick, barefoot, facing the wall, while you prop the stick between the back of your hand and the wall. Fully extended. Whoever holds it the longest wins immunity, a guaranteed spot in the final 3. You can plead your case in front of the jury. That simple.
So it's either you fall off the brick or you drop the...
Yeah. Survivors ready? Go.
What? Oh, fuck. It dropped over there.
Tracy,
I was pushing hard enough.
out before it started. Down the 3. Wobble from Lexi. Lexi looks like she's struggling. movement over at Lexi's. Lexi is out of the skew. Down to 2. Luke and Pete.
You okay?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. I feel like once it's a top 4, it's kind of just every man for themselves, bring who you think you can beat. So we'll see.
I think I'm ready to give my speech. I think I'm ready to do everything I need to do. I just need to win this next challenge.
Movement from Katie. Both Luke and Katie are shaking.
Hold out a little longer.
His hand is completely flipped around from its starting position. Both castaways. Sweating, shaking. This is what it's all about. Push it to the limit. This could be the difference between $500 and $0. Shake from Luke. Katie is also shaking.
Falling down, dude.
This is what Survivor's all about. Just like that, Katie wins final immunity.
Good job, dude. Good job, dude. Alright. Good job.
Good job, dude.
That's just like a high risk ended up being like
Great
You guys
challenge, Katie. Congratulations. Back to back. 2 most important ones.
Thank you.
Guaranteed spot in the final tribe. Cool. 3 of you. Not so much. 1 of you will go home this close to being able to pitch your case. That's the game. Grab your stuff. Get back to camp.
For me, like I'll have to do challenges or whatever.
So, like, I get to pull one person?
No. To vote.
I mean, a vote out?
Yeah.
So would we vote with?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if Tracy will.
I mean, I'm gonna go Luke.
But I mean, me too. So, I mean, Tracy made it so I'm going with her no matter what. Like,
honestly, might be. I don't know.
she makes sure. So, I mean,
She might for the loyalty thing.
yeah.
I'm gonna be shocked.
Yep. So,
But also that was so sad.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
dude.
dude. It was like neck and neck. We were both freaking wild.
No, that was good. I'm glad it was you and I. That was cool.
I didn't think it was gonna be anyone else.
So, I mean, I assume you want to vote me out, and that's, you know, that's fair. I think at this point, though, I think in the past, like, 3 travels, you made a huge, like, case for yourself, and I really think you're just winning regardless. I think you're way more likable than I am to everyone on that jury. Like, I think I would get Sean and Mike's votes. I think Shannon, Elena, Meg is probably vote Tracy if Tracy was staying. My pitch is to get rid of Lexi. I think she deserves to be here the least out of almost everyone in the entire season. And, you know, obviously it's strategic to bring someone like that to the end, and I get that. So if you don't go with it, I get it. But, you know, she was not loyal to you at all. She voted with us every single time. We never wanted her to vote with us. She would just butt into our conversations, and you know, I don't know. I just don't think she deserves to be there. But whatever you do, dude, you fucking killed it. Yeah, it was awesome.
You want me in final 3 because no one's gonna vote for me. I haven't won anything, so I don't think anyone from the jury is gonna send their vote my way, and I say we vote Luke out now.
I mean, I just think the girls have a better chance.
Exactly.
Like, you have a better chance with us than Luke. So I just think, yeah, it makes sense to go with.
Yeah. No, I definitely think Luke. I know I've been loyal-ish. There was that one time I turned on, but ally for Luke. But I think
you're smart enough to know. Like, you can't bring Luke. Like,
no, and Lexi, I don't think is going to get a lot of jury love.
definitely not.
So Luke would get more jury love from Lexi.
Big time.
I just
And
fucking blew past the challenges.
The thing is, like, you also will get. You didn't really. You were loyal, and you have friends on the jury. Like.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna play friends though.
It can't. You're more than Lexi is. I'll say that.
One final time, I want Lexi gone. That's who I'm going to be voting for. You guys want to make it an interesting final 3 where it's 3 really strong competitors. That is my pitch. But, do what you want.
Welcome back, Final Four. Congratulations, Katie, on winning that necklace. So, how does that feel knowing that you have a guaranteed spot in the final Tribal Council?
Honestly, feels amazing. I think one of my biggest competitors this whole season has been Luke, so I think going up against him at the end really felt good. I think that made me feel like I really deserved a spot in the final, and yeah, I feel happy about it.
With you being the only one safe, was there any politicking to you back at camp about this decision?
Yeah, I think everyone made their plea, but I think for my personal safety, I can't do anything other than one thing.
Lexi, at the challenge, you were cheering on Katie over Luke. Does that make you feel comfortable with this vote now that Katie won immunity?
Yeah.
And she saved you in the previous?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we're on pretty good terms.
Tracy, you've been working with Luke this whole game. Was there any part of you that debated maybe trying to force a tie or see whatever you can do to still work together all the way this deep into the game?
Yeah, I mean, of course. When you get into this Final Four situation, you're looking around and seeing, you know, what do I need to do to make it so that I can get into that Final 3?
Luke, that's some glimmer of hope. Did you try to pursue that, and if so, how and
Yeah.
How successful do you think it was?
I mean, obviously, I went and talked to, I specifically talked to Katie and Tracy. My pitch was to try to get rid of Lexi, because I think that me, Tracy, and Katie are all very strong competitors. And when the merge came, and as it progressed, I was trying to position myself in a final 5 that included me, Tracy, Katie, Sean, and Elena, because I felt that the final 3 should be a pretty strong combination of people, and that should come down to whoever could pitch themselves the best. And so I just think that out of what's left, I think me, Katie, and Tracy are all part of that 5 that I wanted. And so I think that that would just be what's best for an all-star season.
All right. Does anyone want final pitches? Or is everyone comfortable?
The other pitch is I think Katie's winning no matter what. I don't think bringing these like that big of a difference. I think maybe it shaves the votes a little bit differently, but I think Katie's going to win. Like she said, it kind of came down to a Final 4 challenge, and it was up me against her, and she outlasted me in that sense. She had 2 badass tribal councils, the past 2 tribal councils, and I think she's friends with everyone on the jury, so I don't think I'm that big a threat in terms of jury management and working with the jury and pleading the case.
All right. Well, for that, it's time to vote. Lexi, you're up first.
You're such a good friend, and I had a blast playing with you, but if you're there, I am nervous I will not win. So this is a selfish vote, and wish you all the best.
I hope Tracy pulled through. If not, no hard feelings, Tracy.
I'll go tally the votes. All right. Once the votes are read, the decision is final, and that person will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Luke. Lexi. It's 1 Luke, 1 Lexi. Luke. It's 2 Luke, 1 Lexi. The final person voted out of Survivor Roysan Revival, Luke.
Great game, Female power.
Bye.
Nice, nice.
Luke, for the final time anyone will ever hear this, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go. All right, congratulations, final 3. You have made it as far as you can in this game. All the power now moves over to the jury as they decide who will win this $500 prize and the title of sole survivor. I'll go get Luke. Once he's back, we'll get this thing crack-a-lackin'.
I think I did the best I could have done. I kind of knew this again going into it, that I was going to go pretty hard from final 8 onwards kind of thing. Played kind of low-key in the beginning. I think I played the game exactly that I wanted to play, and I knew it would come down to one final challenge at the end. Kind of blows that it feels like I could have just showed up for 10 minutes and done that against Katie, because I felt pretty confident when I came in and felt like I was going to make it far, and it's like it just came down to a fucking 5-10 minute thing. But I'm super pumped for Tracy. I'm pumped that she made it as far as she did. It was fun working with her, and I think Katie played an awesome game. I think Katie's probably going to win it. So.
Just lean against it. I would suggest leaning against it rather than sitting on it. Against it, dude.
Really?
All right, welcome to Final Tribal Council. It is now the time for the jury to grill you 3 about your game, so they have a very important decision to make of who's going to win the title of Sole Survivor and the $500 prize I have right in my pocket. It's a good chunk of change for a weekend of work. We're going to do things a little different this year. Except for going one-on-one questions, it's going to be more of an open forum. It's going to be 3 categories: outwit, outplay, and outlast. The jury can talk to you as free, you can rebuttal, and it's going to be a more fluid conversation. Outwit will be the strategic part of this game. Outplay is how you handle twists and turns. And then outlast, I'll give you guys one final closing statement before the jury makes their decision. So, anyone on the jury want to get this started with a question about the outwit portion of this game?
Yeah, I will.
Yep.
All right, so my question, obviously it's for all of you, but I'd like to start with Tracy. As far as the outwit part, what strategically was your game plan going into this? I had a chance to work with Katie, so I had an idea of where she was going, and the same goes for Lexi, so I just didn't see your game as much, so maybe there was a lot more going behind the scenes that you could tell me about.
For sure. Going into this game, I know that I wanted to play an honest game. So I went in and I tried to form the tightest alliance that I could. That alliance was Elena and Luke. And I was faithful to that alliance up until the very end. Sorry, Luke. But even when Elena got voted out, I voted with Elena because I found that that trio was very powerful. And together with that trio, we were the majority and the winning side of every single vote. And that's what I wanted to go through in terms of that strategy. And then for the overall challenges, I wanted to act on my ability to be a natural collaborator and bring my fierceness to the tribe Pierce, and then also, bring my fierceness and athleticism to the individual challenges as well.
Do you want to hear from us as well?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I came in thinking it would be great if I could play an honest game, but that wasn't that wasn't the hill I was willing to die on. I wanted to get as far as I possibly could. So when it got to merge and we were one person down, I knew that I had to adapt to that situation because otherwise if we let them pick us all off one by one, maybe I would be fizzling out at best from the merge. So I was the first one, I think, willing to hop on the let's get Mike out bandwagon. And from there, I did everything I could to integrate into any alliances I could. I was in Sean's ear quite a bit. I talked to Elena sometimes, I talked to Tracy, and I stayed tight enough with Katie and Becca. And yeah, that doesn't sound loyal, but I did have some loyalty. Katie is the only person that I was super loyal to the entire time. We didn't always vote the same way, but I never wrote her name down. I was never willing to vote for her. So I had some loyalty as well, but I mostly just wanted to get to the end. Once I started proving some loyalty to the people on the other swap tribe, I started seeing how much my voice could be heard, and the more it was heard, the more I said.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not worried about the loyalty side of things. I just want to know your strategy going into it. If your strategy was to be loyal, great. But if it was to flip-flop and stab people in the back, I'd rather hear you own that than try to apologize for being disloyal.
I wasn't apologizing for being disloyal. I was saying that wasn't my strategy. It would have been fun if I could be honest, but that wasn't the hill I was willing to die on. I did what I had to do to make it here.
From someone who was playing with Lexi, it seems like her strategy was to flip-flop and be on the majority, whether that was going to hurt her or not.
Yeah, Lexi, it felt like you just kind of walked in on majority conversations and did whatever the majority wanted to do.
And did what was most convenient.
Do you think of any time where you actually suggested something and not just asked what was the vote and it voted?
Probably the biggest thing was whenever Becca and Katie came up, I pushed for Becca over Katie pretty hard. But yeah, I did want to be a majority because majority is how you get to the end. Staying stubbornly in minority is a great way to have your name come up over and over again. And I didn't think that was a good strategy for me, so I didn't do it.
Do you think playing that safe game, could you have made a different approach by not doing the minority or going with the minority and making an extreme play instead of just keeping it safe?
I did. I always heard out minority. I always kept my options open, but there was never a time that I felt that there were numbers that something would go through. Like, yeah, I mean, we got Elena out before you, or did we? No, we didn't get it. No, you're right.
And that question's also for...
But yeah, I did what I had to do. If there were numbers, I was absolutely willing to stick with my original people. But there was never a chance, so I wasn't going to blow my game up for that.
If I could chime in a little bit. I would just say my going in strategy was, I kind of liked the game that I played the first time around. I never felt like I really made any major mistakes. I got in with people that I wanted to work with and made alliances that, you know, got me as far as I could go. I only got one vote that got me out. So I came in with some people in mind, some people from my season, some people I've met from, you know, parties, work, anything like that. And I think I played a good game. Like, I worked with the people that I was on a tribe with, and when it came to the merge, I wasn't always going to go with the majority. There were times where it was just me and Becca voting for who I thought was the strongest player. Even if I knew it wasn't going to work, but I wasn't going to flip on someone that I considered a strong ally, and I didn't think it was going to help my game.
Which caused her to be on the losing side of almost every single tribal council.
I voted a majority 7 out of 8 times, and that's because I flip-flopped, and, like, I'm not mad about that.
So that was my question. Tracy, you've been on the right side of the vote. You voted all of us out, right? Mm-hmm. So, Katie, own your game. What is your number 1 or number 1 and 2 moves that would sway us to vote for you?
I mean, I think the first thing, the final 2 challenges, like, I kicked butt. Like, I think I got 2 of the largest, like, this whole season, everyone has said Luke and Sean are 2 of the largest competitors out here. And I went up head to head against both of them and beat both of them. So I think that shows a lot about my personal game and how much I really came to play. I'd say second, I just worked with the people that I felt good about and wasn't... Like, I would say on my first tribe, me and Mike were very strong together. I wasn't willing. He came up to me and said, if it's going to hurt your game, you can vote for me. And I said, yeah, dude, I think I'm going to have to do that. But up until that point, like, we were very strong in all of the tribes before that. I felt the same way about Eric. I felt like we were very strong allies. I think I just stayed with the people that I trusted, and at some point you have to take out the people that I think can beat me, and at that point it becomes you, Luke, and Sean.
I think something to remember also is that Katie and I came into the merge 1 down in numbers from swap. Like, Tracy never had to be an underdog, so it makes sense that you were in the majority on every single vote, whereas for both of us, either way the gameplay went, like, we had an uphill battle. And so, like, I chose to maybe take an elevator up while you walked up the stairs, but, like, we both had to go up.
The thing we all keep hearing is, you know, they want to sit with the strongest players at the end. It just seems to me like a lot of the strategy was to flip-flop to the majority for the easy vote a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. Whereas, you know, Katie is telling us here she had the balls to sit down and say, no, I'm going to stick to my game and be true to myself. Maybe that's the wrong way to phrase it, but...
I see what you're saying.
Flip-flopping to being the majority just seems like the easy vote.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, but it also put me in a very vulnerable situation every time. Because...
It very much did.
Okay, well, let me finish. Because
people were noticing Lexi was doing that.
Everyone knew that I flip-flopped, right?
That's valid.
I could have, by doing that, put myself on the bottom of both alliances, but, like, because I did, like, in doing so, probably alienate my old tribe. No one's going to trust me from your tribe as much as you trust one of your own, but at the end of the day, no one wanted to get me out at any point. Like, I got a vote from Shannon and a vote from Lou, but, like...
You were talked about getting voted off for probably 6 rounds.
Right, but no one pulled the trigger on me.
Because we thought it'd be an easy target to get you out later.
Yeah.
All right. So now we'll move out to the out last. This can include any twists. If you want to include challenges, that can be on you too. There's the tribe swaps. I think the big twist this season were all starting at that first camp, how you handled that. 3 tribes, small teams, how you handled that. The swap, advantages found in the game, so on and so forth. So, does anyone want to get started? Yep.
How much time was spent before you found the community?
What do you mean, like
just
game?
like
when just give a gist of what happened. Like
I've been looking the whole game, obviously. I don't think that's a secret. I think everyone has been. I found it right before the 6th vote. It was in the main, I think it was probably like a merge idol. It was in the main cam. I was fully prepared to play it at 6. I felt like it was going to be a 4-2, and I thought it was going to, and then that explosion happened of the Elena Sean Luke. And I ended up risking not playing it. I still think there was a chance that wasn't going to end out how it did. I took the risk of not playing it and saved it till the end when I thought, Final 4, or Final 5, that's my highest chance of going home. I think that's when I would be most perceived as a target. Saved it for then. Luckily didn't have to use it, but, did what I could do.
Katie, you and Shannon were all together when Shannon found the night 1 idol.
Yep.
Can you talk through your strategy of what you did with that knowledge moving forward and how that played into your game?
I actually never told anyone that Shannon had it. I stayed very loyal to that because I was hoping come the future that I could link back up with you two and say I stayed very loyal. I think unfortunately Exile just ruined Shannon's game. I think really Exile screwed you, Shannon, and that you were kind of just pegged as this target because we just assumed you had an idol like Damon could have had. So I never told anyone about it, and I think that shows a lot about my character as well, but it never really needed to be told, I think, at the same time.
Right, but what did you do with the knowledge of knowing, for your own game? Did you use it at all, or not,
I was just going to wait until we reconvened. I don't think there was really much I could do. It's not like I could have any influence. We never were on the same tribe, so it just never really needed to be used, I think. Yeah.
How do you think your idol play for Lexi looked to us?
I mean, I think people know I've been closer with Lexi than Tracy. Tracy was in a strong alliance, and I was thinking if Sean had an idol, I'd rather Tracy go home. I'd rather bring Lexi along, who's, it's hard to say because I feel like a lot of times I would say, this is who I'm voting for, and she goes, okay, I will vote for that person, and then doesn't do it. But at the same time, when it was important, she did vote my way, so I was like, I'm not going to just waste it. I don't think that's valuable to anyone. I'd rather have Lexi here than Tracy because she was my closer ally. So
out of the two, who do you think's better, Lexi or Tracy?
I mean,
I think in the game.
I think Tracy played a much more strategic game. She had very strong alliances, and at points I was very scared. She would straight up tell me to my face, I'm voting for this person, and it would be the exact opposite of who I wanted. So I think she played a strong strategic game. I do think Lexi outlasted everyone, but I don't know that without the other two necessarily matters too much.
All right, any questions for Tracy or Lexi amongst this subject? Would you guys like to say anything about your outplay portions of game? Questions for you guys?
When I think about the challenges, obviously, you also saw that those last 2 challenges were difficult for me. The pole holding one, I didn't have the pressure correctly, so once they let go of it, it fell right away. And then for the centers one, I got stuck on ring toss for 1,000 years. So those last 2 challenges were tough for me. But really what I wanted to say about the challenges was that, if you think of them in 2 different parts, the team challenges and then the individual challenges, I think I came into the team challenges with a vivaciousness. I was a fierce competitor. I was a fierce collaborator and teammate. And then when it came to the individual challenges, I'm very aware that I have a target on my back right now because I never came home with the immunity necklace. But in terms of the athleticism portion of it, in some of the ones like the slip and slide one, I was definitely the fastest female competitor. My athleticism was there, the timing just wasn't always right.
I don't think it's a secret that I'm one of the weakest physical players here, which is why I could never rely on that, and so I didn't ever fool myself into thinking I could rely on that. I had to do other things always know where the vote was going to go, and I did always know where the vote was going to go. So I didn't rely on my physical strength because I don't have that.
Could each of you speak a little bit more to some of your performances in the different challenges? Like Katie, for example, memorably won the last two. Granted, they were recent. And then I remember what she did in the eating challenge. Thinking to you other two, was there any challenges that you didn't win where you think you had a strong performance, both individual and team? Was there a team challenge where you made a big impact on the result?
I think thinking about the team challenges, I think the team challenge that I had the greatest impact in was the pig roast. That was a really big endurance challenge, and thanks to our performance with Mike and Sean and me as the pig, we were able to take that one home, and that one felt really, really good. So that's the one I'll speak on for the team challenges. And then for the individual challenges, again, I'm very aware that I never came home with the immunity necklace, but I felt really good about the slip and slide one. I felt like I was kicking ass until it came to the tangram challenge. And I hope all of you saw that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, like, even for the sloth one, yeah, we dropped first, but on my tribe, Tim wanted to be in the middle, so I stepped up and I was like, yeah, I'll hold the thing. Like, so that is a much harder spot for me to be in, and I stepped up and I did my best, and now Damon can't say this because he's not on the jury, but he said that he would have dropped like 10 seconds after me, so, like, I was pretty proud of how I did in that one, even though we ended up losing. I think I did well in foxtails. I think I did well in barmaids. So really, anything that wasn't speed related, I think is where I did the best.
And you've already spoke a bit, but do you have anything to add, like with the exception of the two that you just won? And then
I mean, I would say in a lot of the team challenges, like, I feel like I was willing to step up when it wasn't always, like, it could put a target on your back. Like, me and Mike said, all right, we'll do the puzzle, and it ended up causing us the first challenge, and it's like, you gotta sometimes just put your game on the line and say, all right, I'll try to do the puzzle, I'll do the best I can. I also think, like, in the relay race one, I think I was one of the few girls to carry someone the whole way back. Like, I carried Becca the farthest distance, so I think a lot of times I did what is considered a guy's role when I felt like I needed to. I stepped up. I think I had pretty strong challenge performance both as a team member, and then, like, in the memory one, I was pretty close, even though they were playing as a team. I think I was very close to having it as an individual. And so I think there was just a lot of times where I proved that I pulled my weight in challenges, and then the final two, I think, really brought it home.
Well, so we'll move on to Outlast. This is your final shot at your closing arguments to the jury. So, Lexi, we'll start with you.
So, I mean, it's no secret that I flip-flopped. I felt like I was on a sinking ship, so I got off the sinking ship. And people say that I walk up to majority alliances and I do what they're doing, and that put me on the right side of pretty much every vote. So, looking back on it, I don't think I'd change anything because it got me where I am, and I think that if I had been like, no, we are 4 strong or we are 5 strong with Eric and Becca and Katie, and, like, instead of just staying with Katie, I don't know if either of the two of us would necessarily be here right now, because you could have easily picked us all off before dealing with any of yourselves. And you could say, like, oh, you might be on the bottom of everything. Yeah, and it's a vulnerable place to be, but the odds that someone's gonna implode at some point, and there were like a few separate implosions, like, that's what I capitalized on, and that's what got me here.
All right, Katie?
Yeah, I would say I just think I played a very smart game. Like, I think I came in, tried to burn as few bridges as possible. I worked with who I thought was my best chance of getting further. Like, I think me and Mike were a strong 2 on our first tribe. I think when I then got to the merge working with Eric, that Eric and Becca was my smartest move at that point in time. I don't think I was afraid to make big moves, even though you saw a lot of them, like, didn't always hit. I think that's fine. I was willing to go for it. And I think just at the end, my performance in challenges and just the whole game in general, that people were willing to keep me around even when I didn't have numbers. I think that just speaks a lot about my character and my game performance. And I think just, you know, maybe you'll say these 2 challenges were luck, but I think holding it longer than Luke, I think, says a lot about, you know, outlasting. So I felt pretty good about my game as a whole.
Tracy?
first reflecting about my gameplay performance and kind of toying with the idea of this kind of closing monologue, I was thinking about the game in basically two different ways. I was thinking about the social side of the game, and I was thinking about the challenge side of the game. I think I played a very strong strategic game socially. I found what worked for me, I found what worked for my alliance, and we dominated the tribes the entire time. So thank you to those in my alliances and Elena. That was huge. If I'm moving on to the challenge side of my performance, I think I've said pretty much all that I've wanted to say. I think that I was a vivacious, strong, athletic competitor in every challenge, both team challenge and individual challenge. I think that I'm candidly explaining to you all, like, yes, I understand that I didn't win immunity individually, but I think it's important that, you know, if we're talking about Roysan Revival, that I came here to have a good revival story, and I've brought exactly that. I got voted out very early on in my original season, and I was able to come rise to the top, and that's because in those 2 years I've done a lot of reflecting, I've done a lot of reorganizing and reconsidering what to bring to the table for this tribal. I'm not going to speak on behalf of, you know, either of these two girls. I think I'm done with that. And lastly, I just want to say I want to win the $500 because I'm getting married and I want to pay for my wedding because I'm a public school teacher and I don't make a ton of money, and my fiance is also a public school teacher who doesn't make a ton of money. So help me make my dreams come true and make this revival something worthwhile.
All right, thank you, final three. Now it's time for you jurors to vote. You are voting for the person you want to win. You want to put the name of that person on the parchment. So for the final time, it's time to vote. Sean, you're up first. All right, for the final time ever, I will go tally the votes. All right, first and foremost, thank you everybody for coming back. Thank you to my dad and Nancy for letting us do this for 5 years. Crazy thing that I try to accomplish, and I think this year it finally all came together. Thank you all. This has been the most enjoyable one. So once again, this is for the sole survivor. You want to see your names on this parchment. You will win $500 and bragging rights to being the All-Stars Roysan Revival champion. Without further ado, I'll read the votes. First vote, Katie. 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 The winner of Survivor Roysan Revival, Katie.
Nice.
There you go. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you did awesome, girl. Good job. You played such a good game.
It's over. No more.
This was a pretty obvious decision for me. I mean, I felt like out of the three, Katie did the most. I think Lexi and Tracy played a little bit more boring of a game. Like, for example, there were a couple of times when I was trying to get Tracy to swing and like vote on Luke and Elena, but she like didn't want to really budge from that strong alliance that we had going. So that kind of counted as points against her for me. Lexi was also a strong player, but again, she just kind of rode on the alliance and was pretty much always viewed in our eyes as just like, oh, we'll just get her out later, get her out whenever. Katie just played the best game in my opinion, especially with those last two challenges. Like, winning both of those were huge for her. If Tracy or Lexi had maybe won those last two, that would have made a big difference in this vote in my eyes, especially for the outplay portion of the game. And in addition, I was very impressed by Katie's performance in the food eating contest. So yeah, she definitely earned big points from me all around. And the last thing that Katie did was she had the half idol, which was, you know, something that I didn't even think Lexi and Tracy were like looking for idols at all. So I think Katie's got the win for me.
Katie, I think you were not super honest with me, but you played a kick-ass game. I'm so impressed that you were able to beat two dudes in the last two challenges. I think you addressed what you did to me well, especially over Tracy. I think she couldn't even look me in the eye. So, you know, I'm not pumped about this vote because you did stab me in the back, but I think you're definitely the best player sitting over there, and all of your responses to everything were amazing. And yeah, Tracy, I was really open to voting for you, but the way that you just handled me personally in the last tribal was poor, and you could have had my vote.
All right, I think you played the best game. I think socially we work well together, so I could see what you were trying to do even after I got voted out. Physically, you kicked ass in those last challenges, and we crushed it as a team. Congratulations making it this far. You have my vote.
I've been with you since basically the beginning, and you have played a killer game. You made your statements pure and true from what I could see, and I wish that I was sitting next to you, but this makes me happy.
Congrats, Barrage.
I appreciate the fact that you never once lied to me, and you played a good game.
Congrats, girl.